I'll be totally honest with you. My main offense does not like the 4-3 even 6-1 that much. But one of the formations in my playbook is absolutely awesome against this particular formation. And with the growing trend of man coverage with inside shades and one step aheads, a lot of players are heading right back to 4-3 even 6-1. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Sam from the Sam Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing why the gun split wide receiver backfield is such a good formation against the 4-3 even 6-1. Now, the 4-3 even 6-1 is a pretty popular defense right now because of the inside shade and one step ahead meta. A lot of players want to play man coverage against this. Now, the thing about this formation that makes it's so good is that obviously it is a guaranteed blitz formation where players are going to make sure that you have to max protect in order to pick it up and give yourself time. The formation we're going to be talking about from the offensive perspective is really good at giving the ability to quick pass and also still pick up the pressure and be able to dot as you need. So let's go ahead and get into this here. We're going to start off with just kind of your generics about this formation. If your opponent is not base aligned, this is maybe the worst alignment of any formation in the game against this particular set. And the reason for that is every person who plays in this defense uses the middle linebacker. So as it pertains to the cover zero blitz, they cannot be in two places at once because the safety on the right is on the wide receiver and the user is on the running back, which makes it very easy for us from a passing perspective to just go double wheels and basically read the user. If he goes left, you throw right. If he goes right, you throw left. So again, if they don't go out to the left flat, this is going to be a quick one-play score for you potentially if you get a good rack and a clean throw up the field. So again, with this is going to end up being able to pick you up bare minimum big time chunk yardage. But if you can go ahead and be able to make the user go to the left, most players are just going to be able to kind of throw this ball out here like this, catch a block, and keep scooting. So this is really good start because obviously they are really misaligned. You also note that their defensive line is all kinds of screwed up. And obviously if they want to take their user and jump quick to that flat on the left, you are going to be able to throw the ball quickly to the right. This is a zero thought process setup that is going to be able to beat 6-1 if they do not base align. So first things first, they have to base align, which is going to create some issues as well. So let's go ahead and show you. We're going to go back into the coaching adjustments menu. I'm going to base align so we don't have to worry about doing this every snap, and we'll come right back out in the Sam Blitz. Again, offensively, we haven't really gotten into any plays yet. I'm going to go ahead and call Vert's wide receiver seam because it's a very good play. So now we are base aligned. Now, the thing with this is that with this particular play, again, the user is going to be on the third option to whichever side. So if I were to flip this, I would have two receivers and a running back to the left, and then I have two receivers to the right. The third option would be on the left. So in this situation, we have three to the right, two to the left.
I'm confused.
So with this particular formation alignment, however, this is really problematic because I could do a couple of things. One, we know that a lot of players like to kind of mix up what they do. They don't just play straight cover zero, but they'll start to mix in some zones. And this motion right here changes who the user has to guard. So now we're in a situation where if you take a look here, now the user has to be on the left side. So they have to jump over to the left. Well, this is going to be tough because again, if they are not shading down in this instance, we could just go straight to the flat and look for a broken tackle, especially if you guys have Phenom. You know, if you guys run an AKA running back, that is going to be a broken tackle and potentially a house call relatively easily. So that's a really good start. Now, going back to kind of what we were just saying though, with this particular alignment, you don't even really have to worry about motioning that middle receiver across. It's going to end up being this receiver that is the dangerous one because now this creates a ton of stress on this formation. Now the third option is a wide receiver. And as you guys know, this is really tough because now we have a safety on the backside that is on the running back who could go to the flat. And the user can't be responsible for a lob down the middle to number 15, Brandon Marshall, and a quick throw to the running back. So what this effectively does is it takes man coverage out of their arsenal because if they go quick to the flat, now you have nobody on A, right? Because we're going to be able to throw that quick off the line. I know that we didn't catch that ball because of like a little bug in the spacing. But again here, let me show you what I'm talking about with this. I'm going to motion Randy Moss over. This creates 4 to a side. This is the biggest weakness of the 6-1 defense is they don't even like trips. We're creating quads on this side of the field. So what this is going to do is it's going to put them in a spot where we can basically just kind of throw some simple route combos. Nothing really that crazy on this. You know, drive combos with a streak and, you know, a wheel to the running back. Again, they cannot be in a spot where they are going to be able to guard the seam and guard the quick throw of the running back. Basically, all you have to do when you do this, if they're in a cover 0, is read the user. If their first step is backward, throw the ball out to the right flat. If their first step is down towards the flat, you're going to throw the ball at the top to the streak. Because what they're going to have to do to stay in this defense is get really, really adjusted. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and motion Randy Moss. As you might imagine, they're going to have to get kind of hybrid with this. If they want to guard the jump that flat, they're going to have to go ahead and put this guy into a zone, right? So they're going to leave this guy in a zone. Well, what's that going to do is it's now going to leave the second option to that side wide open. So now if they really want to get down there and guard that running back quick throw, we're now in a spot where if you notice that they're leaving a half over the top, all you really have to do is still make sure you attack the flat with the running back to make sure that they take him. But now you've just got to do like a little bit of an exchange call where you're kind of just running basically a slant over the middle. And what that's going to do is now they're in a spot where they aren't really protecting themselves over the middle now because they are worried about the flat. So again, you see that this creates just far too much leverage stress on man coverage for this to work. So what is going to end up happening with this is they're probably just going to color up their coverage on the right side. So if we go to this motion consistently, this is going to be a big time problem because all we really effectively have to do is just flood. We can flood the sideline, we can flood the middle. As long as you're attacking vertically and in the flat, they are not going to be able to do anything about this as long as you can make a quick read. Now, it goes without saying, but every now and then, pick up the blitz, block the running back, just attack, you know, with a simple trips flood combo like this, and pick up your pressure. Because on the backside on this play, this verts play, we have an amazing route that is a speed out route, which is a phenomenal route to be able to throw against man-to-man coverage. It is so darn good. Now, again with this, they're probably not going to play a lot of man coverage, which means they're going to go to basically their cover 4. Now, this is where we win because you can't play match quarters against this particular look for a number of reasons. Let's start off first and foremost with one that is really, really glitchy. The thing about match quarters is, let's say that they're still blitzing. A lot of players still love to blitz out of quarters. Well, you really do have to have flat support. And again, this motion turns off match because we have now what is called the rule of 4. We're 4 strong. 4 options to one side of the quarterback turns off match. So now what we can effectively do is just, once again, flood the field, right? We can go ahead and, you know, throw quick to the flat. Oh, they're blitzing. Get the ball out, right? Now you're, you know, one broken tackle, a good block pickup. You can set up your route combos to pick off the guys that are in the match zones down the middle of the field and use them as blockers, things like that to be able to attack this. You know, again, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to say, you know what, I can't defend this particular formation while blitzing. So now once they're in just a regular match style coverage, you can do all kinds of flooding over the middle with corner routes. You see right there, I can open up the sideline. They can't depend on a match quarter being able to play a corner route at all with this. So this motion is the worst nightmare for this formation because, again, 6-1 doesn't like 3 to a side. They like to defend tight. They like to defend, you know, maybe bunch, but they really don't like spread trips. And they certainly hate quads because most players like to play match against this, and it's just not going to allow for any of this to work. So again here, even with this, you might go ahead and say, all right, well, I'm going to put Y on a flat or B on a flat, wheel the right bumper, still run something like this, and then maybe drag her in route from the backside. That way, when we do this, we can read the flat and then, you know, maybe throw the in route from the backside as it crosses the face of that quarter flat. again, keeping in mind that most players, when they play this coverage, they just don't have the ability to defend the numbers that we're creating to stress this to the far right side of the field. Another thing that you might end up doing is basically this combo, which is kind of a motioned out bunch thing that a lot of players will do, where they'll just kind of have these slants and crossers all running together. And, you know, now they have to kind of sit in the levels. And if they get back in here, now they give up the slant, right? And if they sit underneath, they give up the crosser. This is going to be a lot of problems for this particular formation. As you can see, this is just basically a freestyle approach to attacking 6-1. This is something that I personally will utilize against this, on top of the fact that they can't just sit in cover 0 because it does give up the quick throws to the flats. It also is not great against the inside zone, which we included in the B-roll at the very, very beginning of this. So make sure if you guys are running my offense that you guys utilize this package against B4-3 even 6-1, because it does create a lot of spacing issues for this, and it does make blitzing very, very difficult because we can pick it up with the max protection, or we can attack both flats at the same time with reliable man beaters that we've talked about out of this formation before here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. That's it for today's video, guys. If you guys liked it, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below. As always, want to hear what you guys think about the content here on the channel. We'll see you guys right back here tomorrow with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.